Hello ESS, welcome back to my channel, or if you are new here then just welcome. Hi, my name is Brenda. I do paranormal videos here on my channel, so if that is something that you are interested in, please consider subscribing down below and turn on your post notifications so you do not miss when I post another video like this one. Now with all of that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into today's video. Alright you guys, so per usual, as you can see by the title, today we are going to be reading some more of my subscribers' scary stories. So thank you guys so much for submitting your stories in so that I am able to make these kinds of videos for you guys. But yeah, if you want to send your own stories, please make sure to send them to my email beyondbsfparanormal@gmail.com. That is the only place that I read them from and the best place to submit them. So with all of that being said, guys, let's go ahead and jump right into story number 1. All right, and this one is sent in to me by Kata. Sorry, I'm sorry if I said that wrong. But it says, "Hi Brenda, my name is Kata. Sorry. I love all your videos. You're such a great narrator." Oh, thank you. And she says, "I have a weird story. I was hired to take photos at an event a couple of years ago, and the strangest thing happened when I had to go to the toilet. So the toilet was at the end of a corridor, and before I even entered the corridor, this absolute terror took over me. I can't explain why, because the corridor was white and bright, and there was nothing spooky about it. So I ran back to the event and waited until someone else went to the toilet to go with them. When I got home, I googled the venue because the fear I felt was so irrational. So the place is called Callan Park in Sydney, Australia, and it turns out this place was an insane asylum from 1914 till 1994. I found a bunch of legends and photos of tunnels underneath it. The tunnels are so creepy with doors that go nowhere. So definitely some unpleasant things happen there. I just can't even imagine the things that happen in this place, but it must have been so terrible that you can still sense the horror. I hope you and all your wonderful community are having a fantastic day or night. Kind regards, Kata." Again, sorry a million times if I said your name wrong. I'm so sorry. But what a good story, guys. Like, how fascinating is it that you had that like eerie feeling and then come to find out that it was an insane asylum? Like, that's very, very creepy. And you know, now definitely makes sense as to why you felt that way. Who knows what could have happened? Maybe not even in the corridor itself, maybe underneath whatever was in that corridor. I felt like I was saying it weird from saying it so many times. But yeah, great story. Thank you so much for submitting that. And now let's go ahead and get into story number 2. All right, and this one is sent in to me by Denise Welch, and it's called My Haunted Childhood Apartment. And they say, "Hello Brenda, my name is Denise. I don't mind if you use my name, and I love watching your videos. They always scare me, but I cannot stop watching them. The story I want to share is about my childhood apartment. My mom and I lived in this apartment from 2001 to 2013. We lived in a 2-story apartment with neighbors at each side. So there's a lot of stories about it. Everything from a possible duende / feeling and seeing ghosts. My first story would be from like 10 years ago. My mom had some friends over to, hang out. One of them had a daughter close to my age, so we became friends. We went up to my room to hang out while our moms were chismeando downstairs. A few minutes of talking about school and cute boys that we liked. We heard someone coming up the stairs besides our moms talking and laughing loudly downstairs. For some reason, we stopped talking and just looked out of my door, which was slightly open, facing the hallway. We saw a little girl peeking in, and then she disappeared. We both freaked out because we knew we were the only 2 kids at the house. So we ran downstairs, not even looking inside my mom's room and hallway to look for her. Then we asked our mom, and another friend asked who the little girl was. Our mom seemed so confused because nobody had brought a little girl over. So after that, my friend and I decided to just stay downstairs. I still remember how that little girl looked. She was in a bluish-green spring-looking dress with brown hair and light-skinned. I remember asking my mom about it later, and she had agreed she thinks the apartment was haunted. Even though this was 10 years ago, I still remember it as if it was only recent. That apartment was definitely haunted, and I still have dreams about it all the time. The second story was about roughly 2 years before the ghost girl sighting. My mom had a live-in boyfriend whose name was Juan at the time. So one day, my mom and I were coming back from the store a bit before her boyfriend was coming back from work. We were unlocking the door. It had a deadbolt and the regular doorknob. We had unlocked both of them and were about to turn the knob when the deadbolt locked itself. At first, we were confused because we just unlocked it. Then we unlocked it and we just heard the doorknob lock. This happened about 2 more times. Then we just laughed and were like, okay, haha, that's funny, Juan, just let us in. Because we thought it was my mom's boyfriend. Then we saw Juan outside just getting home from work with the people he carpooled with that day. My mom and I were so confused. We made Juan check the house first just in case someone had been in the house. He did not find anyone there and nothing looked missing since we always keep all the doors/windows locked. So that was super unexplainable and we never found out what caused it. I guess the ghost just wanted to prank us that day. Haha. Thank you for everything, Brenda. I have more stories of this apartment plus other places and the time my grandma saw a possible duende too in my childhood apartment. Well, I would love to hear those, but that one was so creepy. Yeah, like how funny that the ghost was just like trying to mess around with you guys. It seems to be like maybe a child's ghost for sure, because if you had seen that little girl, maybe it was that same spirit kind of just messing with you guys by locking the bottom and then unlocking the top and so on and so forth. So not a super terrifying kind of experience, kind of something that you're like, that was weird and probably paranormal and unexplainable. But yeah, definitely really enjoyed that story. So thank you so much for sending that in to me. Now let's go ahead and get into our third story, and you guys know, or the final story. And this one is sent in to me by Stacy Stark, and she says, hello, long-time watcher and listener, first-time writer, haha. I've been wanting to send you a story for a long time, just didn't have the time to type it out. I've had a lot of paranormal stuff happen. I'll share a couple of stories. So this is her first story. She says, I guess I've always really been in tune to more of the spiritual side. When my cousin passed away around 2002/2003, I was still in high school, so it was a shock because he was only about 32. I got a phone call on my cell around midnight coming from our house phone. The house phone was currently disconnected because we were transitioning over to a new system. I was too scared to pick it up. I was more terrified when I realized there was a voicemail. I waited until the morning to listen to the voicemail, and all I can hear was static, and very softly I could hear a voice in the background that said, I just wanted to call you to say goodnight. My mom heard it and she could tell it was my cousin's voice. This was about a day or two after he passed away, and ever since then I've been more sensitive to paranormal stuff happening around me. At first I was thinking it was maybe just the locations we were at, but then to realize it was following me. Oh my god, that one, I can't, I was like, oh my god, how crazy would it be if you still had that voicemail and you were able to like have us hear it? That'd be so crazy. Like, he left you guys one more message before moving on. It's like both terrifying and kind of comforting, and the fact that you were able to tell that it was his voice and you knew that it was your cousin and he just wanted to say goodnight. Oh my gosh, that is a lot. That's like, what a story. Oh my gosh. Okay, story number 2. Shortly after my divorce, I moved in with my sister and my brother-in-law, and we decided to rent a bigger home. We had things happening in that house that I swore that place was haunted. And one day, while we were sitting on the couch, I saw the remote control fly off. By the look on my face, my sister did not want to know what I saw, since she gets more freaked out than I do. Another time, while she was away at work, it was just me and my brother and my son, and we were playing around with an app on our phone that was supposed to spell words off of the energy around you, since we were saying the place was haunted. What was creepy was on the device it said bang, and instantly we heard a loud bang coming from upstairs. My son was up there and he was about 5 years old, so I freaked out, asked my brother-in-law to go look upstairs. He didn't want to because he was freaked out too. I walked to the bottom of the stairs and saw my son standing up there saying that he woke up and saw a lady in the closet. I told him to come downstairs, and when me and my brother-in-law went upstairs to go look, his room was trashed. The dresser looked like it was moved. The doors were taken out weirdly like they were tossed. His mattress was about halfway off the bed frame, and the posters and whatever we had hanging on the wall were thrown on the ground. That was the beginning of a lot of things that happened afterwards, and even now to this date, things are happening at my new apartment. I have a strong feeling it's following me since my sister and my brother-in-law bought a house and nothing has happened in their location. And this has been happening, I want to say, for a good amount of time, but it's been 20-something years. I plan on hopefully sending you more stories. I know I have stories from my mom from Mexico, and I have stories even from some of my coworkers that happened in their country. Thailand, Laos? I don't know how to say that one. Laos? I feel like I've heard it before, but I don't know how to say it. And the Philippines. Love your channel. Keeps me busy at work. Can't wait to hear more stories. Thanks. Oh my God, Stacey, thank you so much for these amazing stories. Sorry that you have these paranormal experiences happening to you, but thank you for entertaining us with it, because it's like such a funny thing that we are being entertained off of people's experiences and their trauma from these experiences. But I guess, it happens with a lot of different topics. But thank you, Stacey. Those stories were wild, especially the phone call one. Like the fact that your house phone wasn't even working, but you were getting a call from your house phone and then a voicemail and stuff. Like, I can't even get over that specific part. I was like, that is one of the craziest things I've heard, because I've never heard of somebody experiencing something like that. And it kind of reminds me of the Twilight Zone episode. I've talked about this episode a lot before on my channel, and it is one of my favorite episodes. It's about that lady who is getting calls from her deceased husband, and he keeps trying to get in touch with her, and all she hears is like static and groaning. And it was after one of the telephone lines kind of snapped and part of it fell directly on top of his grave, and he was able to call her on the landline at her house, and she was scared the whole time because the phone just kept ringing and ringing and nobody was saying anything, and she was getting in touch with the telephone company being like, hey, can you find out who's been calling me, because it's it's nonstop. And then they're not able to help her. It's a great episode. If you guys haven't watched it, I'll put the name of it on here because I don't remember what it's called, but it's a Twilight Zone episode, the OG ones. But yeah, amazing stories, Stacey. I would love to hear more from you. Please send me more stories that you have. I cannot wait to read them on here and listen to them. But yeah, guys, that is going to be it from me. I know this one was a bit of a shorter video, and I feel like I kind of rushed it. Hopefully not, because my camera's about to die and I was like panicking. I was like, I need to get this video done before it dies. I don't want to have to redo it. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. Before I do end the video, today's comment shout out goes to this person right here. Thank you so much for leaving a nice comment. And if you want to be the next comment shout out, all you have to do is leave me a nice comment down below, and that's it. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully I will see you guys in the next video. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, leave a telephone emoji. That way I know who stayed all the way to the end. Yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching again. Hopefully I will see you in the next one. Don't forget to stay safe and be kind. Bye bye. Oh my god, my camera is blinking. Okay, it's dead.